How Donald Trump's America is choosing who lives and who dies. This is the title of today's op-ed over at HartmannReport.com. Wake up, America. While we've been distracted by the daily chaos of the Trump administration, something far more sinister is happening. Qasim Rashid pointed this out, this phrase, structural eugenics. And I was unfamiliar with it, but it's not some fringe conspiracy theory here. It's basically when the government takes actions that are intended to protect one group of people and cause the death or diminish the potential for, future life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness of another group. And that's exactly what Trump is trying to do. Look at, they're monitoring autistic children. They're trying to build databases on women's menstrual cycles. Trump just confirmed that last week. They're creating blacklists of anyone who criticizes Trump or questions Israeli policies. They're surveilling transgender Americans, and they're targeting anyone who dares mention diversity or inclusion. Meanwhile, so that's, who they're going after. Meanwhile, they've abandoned monitoring of vaccination rates as measles returns to kill our children. And by the way, whooping cough is coming with it. They've stopped counting COVID deaths, even as hundreds of Americans are still dying from COVID every week. They refuse to track gun violence despite firearms becoming the leading killer of American children. They've gutted environmental monitoring as our planet burns. They've dismantled food safety regulations while tens of thousands of Americans get sick and hundreds die every year from contaminated products. I mean, this selective attention is not random. It is strategic and it is deadly. It's the implementation of a 21st century form of eugenics through bureaucratic means, rather than just eliminating, undesirable populations with, firing squads and gas chambers like they did, in the 20th century. This approach just withdraws protections from the targeted groups while offering additional protections to the groups that they're trying to support. We see this in the Trump-Kennedy alliance, Bob Kennedy, and all the wacky stuff he's doing with our health things. They're constructing elaborate systems to monitor and control the bodies and behaviors of anyone who challenges their worldview, particularly uppity women. Consider Virginia, the state of Virginia. Republican Governor Glenn Youngkin just blocked a law, he vetoed a law that would have prevented law enforcement from demanding, viewing, and compiling women's menstrual histories. Republicans in Virginia want to go to the apps that are out there that women download onto their phones to track their menstrual periods so they know when they're fertile and when they're not, and for general health reasons. And they want that data. They want those companies to give them that data. And the legislature in Virginia passed a law saying you can't do this. You cannot monitor the women of Virginia. And the Republican governor vetoed the law, killed the law. Now, what possible legitimate purpose could killing that law serve? I mean, none. This is about control, surveillance, and ultimately determining who gets to participate in American society. The treatment of transgender Americans under this regime is another example. Over 600 anti-LGBTQ plus bills moving through state legislatures, most of them targeting trans people. They're trying to literally wipe trans people off the face of the country. That's called eugenics. This is not about protecting kids or preserving sports. It's about erasing people who are not white, straight, Christian men, by and large. Perhaps most chilling is the Trump regime's approach to political dissent. Palestinian students and other people of color who criticize American or Israeli policy face expulsion from school, imprisonment. I mean, look at this. Rumeysa Ozturk is still in jail. What did she do? A year ago, she co-authored an op-ed in the Tufts University student newspaper saying that Netanyahu's policies in Gaza were deplorable. She's still in jail pending deportation. After Trump decides they've spent enough time to be appropriately punished, then he kicks them out of the country? Really? Is that how this is going to work? And now he says he wants to deport Americans. I mean, gun violence is continuing. This should concern all of us. And this is here now and being implemented by people, some, who believe some Americans are more valuable than others. And we have to stand against this. The time for polite disagreement and strongly worded letters is over. Our lives and American democracy quite literally depend on stopping this deadly experiment before it's too late.